enough basketball. We have more pressing issues
More pressing issues.
with the greatest day of the year coming tomorrow.
It is.
In draft day.
It's a different spot for me. I'm usually very, very well versed because the Giants are picking in the top 10. So this is new. This is a different feeling. But we'll get into it of like what do you think will be the biggest surprise before we actually get into like the actual us mocking?
I think the biggest surprise, and I'm probably going to be wrong with this, as we were wrong with many of the picks in our
We're
draft
going to be
last year.
so off.
But I think the thing that's going to surprise a lot of people is Bryce Young does not go number 1.
Wow, you're believing the Reddit user?
No, I saw that. I'm not believing in that. I just, I think that because who's the Panthers quarterback right now? Do they even have one? Is it? Who was it last year?
Darnold, Baker, both are gone. I don't know if they have one.
I thought Darnold was on the Jets. Oh, he got traded to the Panthers.
Darnold was on the Panthers for the last 2 years.
Where's Baker? Right? Where did Baker go? Baker went to the Bucs.
At the Bucs. Do they not have a quarterback? They must.
They have to have somebody.
PJ Walker, is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there. So they need a quarterback, but
they're going to take a quarterback.
And I'm probably wrong with that because when you look at the quarterbacks that are available, there was like some spoof about Will Levis going number 1, which just would be so stupid in my opinion. And then they're just really down on CJ Stroud right now, so it makes sense that the best option would be Bryce Young, and I think he should be number 1. But I also I don't know who else they would take, because who else would be like the objectified number 1 pick? Will Anderson.
Yeah, but they're gonna take quarterback. You don't trade up.
Yeah, like that. They have to. They have to. They lost DJ Moore. I think Bryce Young just makes too much sense, but I don't know. That was my.
So your hot take was that Bryce Young does go 1?
No, my hot take is that he doesn't go 1.
Who do you think would go 1 instead?
Will Anderson. I think it makes too much sense to take Bryce Young, and he's probably the unquestionable number 1 pick. But
that's why it's a hot take.
But my hot take is that
I respect it. He's a great player. He feels like one of those players, Will Anderson, that's like he's been hyped the last 3 years. He's been so good, and then people just get bored of him. All he's done is produce. It's just like Aiden Hutchinson last year. Remember, we were like, how could it possibly be that the Jaguars would take a guy over this guy who's literally produced all in college, has been insane, and then people just got bored, and then Trayvon Walker went 1. It's
crazy. And Trayvon Walker didn't really do much last year.
Yeah, he was fine. But Aiden Hutchinson was the difference. I think Will Anderson will be the pick at – I think we'll get into that. But my hot take, I think there's only going to be like 2 receivers who go in the first round.
Obviously, we'll get to that. Do you have a chart you could share and we could kind of do a draft, or should we just kind of just
let's do it.
Let's do it to it.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm excited though. It's there's a lot of talent in this draft class, so it'll be very interesting to see which players get taken where and who actually is going to be beneficial in their rookie year. Obviously, hands down, last year the Jets won the draft, not just because they drafted great players, but the results that they got from it.
Totally.
Not Myles Garrett, Garrett Wilson winning Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Sauce Johnson winning.
Sauce Johnson.
Sauce Johnson. Sauce Johnson.
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner. I was thinking CJ. I was thinking CJ Gardner Johnson. What a fool! I apologize to those 2 gentlemen.
You could see this, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, PFF.
Sauce Gardner winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Breece Hall being probably
He probably would have been.
he would have
if
won
he stayed
easily, yeah,
healthy.
if he didn't
Yeah,
get
he was
hurt.
playing
So
so
like
well.
those are great results for them. But yeah, let's go for it, Jay. If you want to do the
All right.
first pick.
I'll start us off. I'd still think it'll be Bryce Young, number 1. Of course, this is QB from Alabama. He's been amazing. He had no receivers this year and was still phenomenal. People often like knock his size, but I just think he's too good. Like he's
Yeah.
just got a special quality. So I think he's too good. So I have one.
So here, I'll do the second one. Obviously, just go ahead and put Will Anderson in because that's the right pick to take. But at the same time, I don't think Davis Mills is the guy to get the job done. I don't know why he had some solid games that last year, but like I don't know why the Texans believe in him so much. I wouldn't be surprised here too if they picked CJ Stroud.
Yeah, this has been really weird. So we were talking before the show on this, but all of the stuff that has come out of about CJ Stroud and like his low IQ and not doing well on the whatever the test is called, that's they're substituting it for the Wonderlic. It just seems like convenient, like that it's a slander campaign, like right next to the draft time, which makes me think that someone like maybe the Colts are hoping that he falls because they don't want to move up. For the Texans, I mean, D'Amico Ryans is there. I definitely think it'll be Will Anderson also, just with all this stuff. But I think it should be CJ Stroud. I can't believe that it won't be, but I don't know. So this is a precarious situation. We're not doing trades, but I think very likely the Cardinals would trade even one down to the Colts.
Yeah.
If not with the Raiders or maybe the Titans is what I've heard otherwise, which would leave Jalen Carter or Tyree Wilson. And I just think you go with the sure thing. I mean, he's had a lot of character concerns and such, but he's the right pick. Jalen Carter is probably the best player in the draft, and you got to just take him.
Even with all his off-field issues?
I mean, look, like if you're an organization, like you have to be, and maybe the Cardinals are not the right one considering they can't tame Kyler. I just think that you take the most talented player once. Like, I think that they'll trade out, but if they stayed put, I think they'd look at Tyree Wilson pretty heavily, and I think they look at Jalen Carter.
Can I give you 2 more hot takes real quick?
Yes.
2 more quick hot takes. Jalen Carter goes out of the top 10. Bijan Robinson.
Wow.
Bijan Robinson goes top 8.
So you think he's going to the Falcons?
I do.
I saw a lot. I just can't. I cannot see the Falcons. I guess you take.
They don't have a running back. Like,
well, they have whatever his name is, who played really well last year for 5th round pick.
Cordero, get out of here.
No, not Cordero.
Oh, not Cordero.
What the hell is his
name? Almier, TJ
Algier. Tyler Algier.
Yeah, that was close enough.
Almier. All right, who's going forward to the Colts?
I mean, based off our draft, I think it'd have to be CJ Stroud because Colts don't have a quarterback, right?
They're definitely going for quarterback.
They have to.
I guess the real question would be, apparently they love Will Levis, and
I was going to say they do love Will Levis, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they went Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I would. Oh, yeah, maybe like a kind of a similar quarterback as Jalen Hurts with Shane Steichen.
Exactly.
That's interesting. Maybe. So 5 is interesting. Seattle's kind of in a luxury position.
Yeah.
A lot of people think maybe they'd go quarterback, go Anthony Richardson here because they don't anticipate they'll be back in the top 5, and Geno Smith's deal is really like more of a 2-year deal than whatever it was on paper, 3. They have a really easy out after 2.
Geno Smith's their franchise quarterback. But yeah, it would make total sense to take a quarterback there just to kind of have him learn from Geno and then build for the future around that guy.
Yeah, to be honest, like their O-line was actually pretty good last year with the additions they made. Their defense, they could definitely go Tyree Wilson. That would be probably a pick that they would make with someone who's super athletic. But I just think that they don't think they'll get back in the top 5, and they'd go Anthony Richardson. Production really wasn't there. A lot of people attribute that to like the talent around him at Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he'll be the real deal. I think he'll be amazing as a fantasy quarterback. But you can't really test anything like him. He's got a cannon for an arm, runs a 4.4. Like, he's such an explosive athlete. Like, I think he's probably entering the NFL as the most explosive athlete in the NFL, like off the bat.
You know, it's something that's interesting to think about, like not counting Tom Brady, but how many like quarterbacks in like the history of like, at least in our lifetime, have been like a top 5 draft pick and started off as the backup and then panned out to be like a franchise quarterback. Like top 5, like happened with Brady, like happened with Jalen Hurts, for example, but they weren't like, you know, top 5 quarterbacks.
Kirk Cousins was a crazy one, though. I was watching an interview with him actually today.
He a top 5 pick?
No. Sorry, I just meant like a quarterback that sat like behind someone. So like,
yeah, well, there's a bunch of those like Aaron Rodgers, but I'm talking about a quarterback that was like a beast in college, got drafted in the top 10 in the draft, and they went from being like unreal in college to a backup quarterback their first year in the league. Like, I feel like that hardly ever happens, really.
Josh Rosen.
Yeah, well, he was a bust.
He was number 10.
Yeah.
And he said that he was so bad. All right. But I don't know. So who do you think the Lions, who are also in a very fortunate spot, would take?
I was thinking Witherspoon here, but based off like what we have, Tyree Wilson, I think would be the obvious pick. But
I think Witherspoon would go there too. I really do. But if he doesn't, number 7 is interesting. This is really interesting because if they have a chance at like Will Levis, would they take it? But they're so bad everywhere else. I'm going to go with my gut. I think they'll go with Christian Gonzalez, who I think is the best corner in the draft.
That's who I want the Eagles to take, but I don't see him falling to 10.
Yeah, I don't know. He could, but I don't know. There's a bunch of different ways that this could go. All right,
so Carson Wentz.
Who do you think the Falcons will take?
Falcons very well here could take Will Levis if he was available. They're just like, I just don't think they're set on Desmond Ridder. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's going to be the steal of the draft is taking Bijan Robinson here. So I wouldn't be surprised with that. But I would go with Bijan.
Bijan Mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bijan's a stud. There's not really much more to say about it. He would be the first running back to be taken over number 20 in the first round since Saquon, if this is the way that it went.
Yeah, which is funny because if he hypothetically was available at 10, it's like,
I still don't think the Eagles would pick him, to be honest with you.
I know, and it's just like, how do you not take him with like how good he is, like how much people are hyping him up? He literally comes out the other day and says if he could play with any quarterback, he'd play with Jalen Hurts. So it's like, it just seems like it'd be too good to be true for them to pass on him. But like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes before the Eagles are up.
Yeah, I could see that too. Number 9, they just made a huge trade. They got DJ Moore. They got extra draft capital.
You know the little jingle that comes on before the picks up?
Yeah.
Do they do that for the NBA too? And
it's a different jingle. Yeah, they do it though. Yeah,
I like that jingle.
Actually, I like the NBA is just like da na 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 or something. I don't know. I made that up. I think number 9, if he's available, they'll go Paris Johnson. They need so much help at O-line. You want to protect your quarterback. Now that they're fully invested in Justin Fields, they could go in a bunch of different directions. Devin Witherspoon would probably be really enticing for them. Or Peter Skoronski, also a really good player. But I just think at this point in time, like you gotta just protect your quarterback. Their O-line is atrocious. Paris Johnson, number 9 of the Bears. Who we got at 10? The Philadelphia Gross Eagles.
The defending NFC championship.
Don't forget the losers of the Super Bowl.
The defending NFC champions with the 10th pick will select Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern.
Really?
Either him or Nolan Smith, I think.
Oops.
But we could definitely use help at the offensive tackle position with just Jason Kelce being done after this year, most likely, and Lane Johnson getting hurt every year. Usually, it's the right decision.
This might be a hot take, but I could see them going Broderick Jones or Darnell Wright. I think Darnell Wright is the one who is the right tackle at Tennessee. So the Eagles are really, really good at future proofing. So I would not be surprised if one of those is the pick as well. But Peter Skoronski, because Peter.
What do you mean future proofing?
I mean, such as taking Jason Kelce's future replacement last year from Nebraska, taking DNs, knowing that they're going to have to eventually part ways with like some of the older guys, or taking a D tackle last year, knowing Fletcher Cox is entering the end of his career.
Just like how the Eagles were. What was the word you used?
Future proof.
Just how the Eagles future proofed Alshon Jeffrey and took Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say Nelson Aguilar, but yeah.
Yeah, Alshon Jeffrey probably wasn't the right name, but he was our best receiver at that Super Bowl run we had.
I think if the Titans are up at 11 and Will Levis is there, they'll run to the table and they will draft him.
Who's their backup right now for Tannehill? Do they have one?
It's Malik Willis.
Malik Willis. That'd be crazy to take another quarterback.
Oh, Malik Willis is really garbage. Like he played horrible last year.
Yeah, he did.
And we were completely wrong on that. We had him in the first round. But that just goes to show you how little we and other media know actually what's going to happen. And it's all really guess. I could also see them going like Jackson Smith and Jigba. Need receiver help. But I just cannot fathom them going receiver 2 years in a row in the first round. So, I just can't see it.
I doubt this would happen, but it'd be pretty cool if the Texans went CJ Stroud and then
Jackson Smith,
Paris Johnson.
Yeah. So who do you think that they would take him here or no because of the
Well, if Paris Johnson was available, they'd probably take him at 12. But with what we have right here, I don't know what the Texans need help at, but I feel like taking Broderick Jones or Devin Witherspoon's the right pick right here.
Yeah, I think this would be far for I think Devin Witherspoon probably won't fall this far. I don't know. He's such a good player.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my head, I just can't see them not taking Jackson Smith. Their best receiver is Robert Woods.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't know. They're such a weird team. In this mock draft, they took Will Anderson, right? So they also don't have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They're really going to run into this season with Davis Mills.
Yeah, they're screwed. At least they have Dameon Pierce.
That's right. So you think Broderick Jones?
Yeah.
Okay, so Broderick Jones would be opposite. I'm blanking on his name. Who is the guy they got from Miami? The tackle. He's very famous for the draft photo.
I don't know.
Of him with the Laramie Tunsil. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
Oh my God! Look up Laramie Tunsil draft picture. 13. The Packers just traded Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, the
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 Bond.
Bond
Yeah,
mask or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. They just traded Aaron Rodgers. I thought their compensation honestly was really good for a guy who didn't want to be on the team anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And moving up, people are wrong. People think that moving up 2 spots is like insignificant. It's not. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think this is. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
So Green Bay has, I think, never taken a receiver in the last like 20 years. It would just be iconic if they took one here to spite Aaron Rodgers and take Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Do you think if one of those 4 quarterbacks, meaning Levis or Richardson, for some reason fell to 13, the Packers would be obligated to take the quarterback?
Nope.
They just think Jordan Love's going to get the job done?
I don't know if they believe that Jordan Love will get the job done, but they have to give him a chance. He's a first-round quarterback, and this is already his, 3rd or 4th year.
Yeah.
He's played like a couple snaps against the Eagles, and that was it.
Yeah. Well, like you said, despite Rodgers, it makes sense for him to go here.
It'd be really funny.
And if they didn't, he would most likely go to New England because their receivers are garbage.
Which is why I think that they would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I think that moving up ahead of New England was so important to them. But I could also see them taking an offensive tackle if one's available.
Yeah.
They need help. So who do you think New England goes number 14?
Probably Witherspoon or Jordan Addison would be my guess, but I could see Witherspoon. I don't even think Witherspoon would fall to 14, but
I don't think he will either.
For the sake of this.
Okay, so we have Witherspoon 14, 15. The Jets are up. They now have Aaron Rodgers. What they don't have is a ton of protection. I think they will go Darnell Wright.
Okay.
It might not be Darnell Wright. It's kind of just like I think that they'll take a tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, Mekhi Becton is great when healthy, but like he hasn't been healthy in 2.5 years. So
yeah,
Darnell Wright has a lot of potential to be really good. So that's who I think they would go.
Okay. Yeah,
I think the commies will go 16.
They would take, if he's available, they would take Myles Murphy.
Future proofing to get rid of Chase Young, who they just declined his option.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been like injury prone, but I don't know. He was just like such a beast at Clemson. He's a great pass rusher. I think it would just like be a good addition for them.
Yeah. Now, 17 for the Steelers. It'd probably be pretty enticing for them to get Kenny Pickett with his old buddy Jordan Addison. But I think personally that they will go corner. And I think Joey Porter Jr. It might not necessarily be him. It might be Deonte Banks, who I think is honestly a better player and has way more intangibles. But Joey Porter Jr., there's NFL legacy, and I think that matters to some of these teams. So I am going to say they will take him.
Also, I'm an idiot. I don't know why I thought Paris Johnson was a wide receiver, but Jackson Smith,
and Jigba.
And Jigba is easily the best wide receiver in the draft class. So
yes,
that's what I meant with the Texans taking him at 12.
Oh, do you want
taking Jigba?
Shit.
No, it's fine. Leave it.
All right, whatever. I could see them. I think he'll go at 12 too. I think it makes too much sense.
Yeah.
Who do you think the Lions take with their second luxury pick?
I could see them going either Brian Branch or Luke Van Ness, but I don't know if they need an edge rusher.
I don't know who's Hutchinson.
Didn't what's his name? Who was the cornerback that went 3 overall? Did he go to the Falcons and then got traded? You know what I'm talking about?
Matata?
Yeah. Did he?
Yeah, he went to the Falcons.
He got drafted by the Lions, though, right?
He got drafted by the Lions, traded to the Falcons.
Yeah, didn't do anything. So.
And this one we have Tyree Wilson going to the Lions right now, who is an edge player.
So maybe they'd go Ringo.
Keely Ringo.
Lock it in. Keely Ringo.
Cornerback / maybe safety. Lions. I think I disagree with you on that one because I don't know if Keely Ringo goes in the first round personally, but it could happen. Who knows? The draft is pretty wacky. You know what I think would be crazy for this pick? I genuinely think it would happen. I think 19. The Buccaneers have so many needs. Good soccer ad. Thanks PFF. They could go in so many different directions, but I think I don't even know where he is on this. Like I could see them going a running back, but I doubt it. I could see them going. I mean, Deonte Banks would be falling a little bit. They need help at tight end, but I don't know where he is. But Hendon Hooker, I think, is where this would make too much sense to me.
That'd be wild.
He tore his ACL last year, but he was really, really good at Tennessee. The Buccaneers are gonna eventually need help. It's very possible that they're gonna just be hoping they lose every game, get number 1 pick next year when you have really, really good players like Caleb Williams and Drake May coming out. But Hendon Hooker, I feel like it also could be a really good player. So I'm going to say Hendon Hooker for 19.
Okay. For the Seahawks, I just don't like it could happen, but I just don't see Nolan Smith falling out of the top 20. So,
and we already have them going QB. I agree with you.
Thanks, Jay.
You're welcome. All right, Chargers 21. Chargers can go in tons of directions. They probably need help at receiver. I think this is the most perfect place for a tight end because they have nothing outside of Gerald Everett. But they need help. Like they have a really tough division. This is tough. I'm not sure who they'd go. They have 2 really good corners. I mean, sorry, not corners. They have 2 really good edge players, and Joey Bosa and Khalil. I think Jordan Addison makes a lot of sense for them, or I'd say Zay Flowers.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jordan Addison was gonna go to the Ravens.
Okay, so I'll say Zay Flowers. You know, I'll say Dalton Kincaid because I really do think that this is Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer is the best tight end. I'll say Michael Mayer goes here. Just makes too much sense.
That's a steal from Dallas.
Dallas?
Yeah, because they lost Dalton Schultz, so
this is the Chargers.
I know. What I'm saying is they stole him from Dallas. I could see Dallas targeting him.
Yeah, Dallas definitely needs help too. Fortunately for them, this is a really good tight end class.
Mm-hmm.
So you think the Ravens will go Jordan Addison?
Yeah. OBJ is not enough for that team.
No, definitely not. Now Minnesota. I think this is where Deonte Banks goes. They need I guess they could. You know what? They have receiver problems too, don't they? They don't have anymore.
But I think they're going to be targeting to build their defense though.
But their defense was so atrocious.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I'm going to say Deonte Banks goes there. The Jaguars 24.
The Jaguars. Probably Brian Branch. I feel like that makes the most sense.
I could see it. I don't know who their corner or their safety is now, but I know that people think that he also could potentially be a nickel corner. He just ran slow, but he's a really, really good player.
You're slow.
Now the Giants. Well, looking at this list, I do not love Quentin Johnston. Like I'd be fine if they took him. I'm going to be fine with whoever they take because I just believe in Joe Shane. I don't love Quentin Johnston.
Take Dalton Kincaid. Give Darren Waller some extra help.
They could use more some tight ends.
Bellinger, add to the bunch.
I do not like Jalen Hyatt as a player at all. I think that, like, realistically, I just don't see the Giants staying at 25. I think they'll trade up or trade back. However, if they do stay,
Won't
I mean,
you?
honestly, let's just add another one to the list. Get Zay Flowers in there. Add another slot receiver.
Slot receiver.
So slotty of them.
You're just slotty.
He's a really good player out of Boston College. But my issues with him is, besides from like his height, he also is obviously really small and not like we already have Wandale, but I don't know. In Brian Dable's system and Mike Kafka, I think they can get really creative. Yeah. I'd be fine with it. All right, so 26, the Cowgirls, who are they going?
I feel like they just like drafting studs, so taking Luke Van Ness would make sense here. But like I said, with the whole tight end thing, throw Dalton Kincaid in there. From one Dalton to the next.
Keep the Daltons alive.
Yeah.
27 of the Bills. This is a toughie.
I'll give you a toughie.
Oh, yeah?
No.
Well, did they actually replace Tremaine Edmonds?
Did they? I don't think so.
Well, I could see them going edge. I could see them going receiver. Corner, I doubt it.
I wish you were somebody you never met. Make up your mind.
Can't
Buffalo.
There's so many. I'm going to say Jack Campbell. That might be a little early, but I think he's a really good player.
Okay.
All right, 28, the Bengals.
The Bengals. I could see them taking what's the dude with the funny name? You know what I'm talking about? What is it? It's like Adetomiwa Adebore.
Yeah, this guy, Adebara.
Yeah. I don't. Who's their edge rusher right now?
Trey Hendrickson, Sam Hubbard.
Yeah. So I don't know if they would need him. Roll up.
Actually, is Sam Hubbard an inside linebacker or outside?
I'm not sure. I think he's outside. I'm not positive though. Scroll up. They don't need a wide receiver, that's for sure. Throw Isaiah Foskey in there.
A little Foskey.
See how wrong we are. Can't get any worse than last year, can it?
Probably. The Saints are always a mystery to me. They traded up big time with the Eagles. What a stupid ass trade. That got them Olave, who was great.
Yeah.
And they also got whatever his name is, who's the tackle. I cannot remember his name. They're an old team.
You're old.
You don't mean it.
You're right.
Oh,
baby.
Maybe this is where Lucas Van Ness would go. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
And we have the Eagles taking Skoronski for your.
I was gonna say I hope Luke Van Ness would fall to 30, even though I don't see that happening. Because I'm sure I'd love for the Eagles to grab him. I don't think this would happen realistically, but say the Eagles don't get Bijan Robinson, I wouldn't be surprised if they took Jahmyr Gibbs here, even though they probably wouldn't. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
I could see that happening. I think they'll trade out, to be honest, of one of
Yeah.
the picks.
There was like talk about there's so much focus on the running back, which is something that Howie Roseman like never does. But just with like trying to trade for Derrick Henry or Austin Eckler, which I don't think either of those would happen. So taking Bijan or like Jahmyr Gibbs is very possible. But they're we're definitely after taking an offensive tackle, they would probably look to take someone on the defensive side. So maybe Joey Porter from Penn State.
You already went.
Oh, really? Can we trade? Can we trade back? You rewind.
You went to the Steelers. I cannot see Joey Porter making it this far. He could, I guess. I feel like we're gonna be so wrong.
What about Emmanuel Forbes? He's still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
All right, we'll take him.
You can cover Devontae Smith because they're both 160 pounds.
Yeah, because we do need a cornerback.
He's actually really good. If he wasn't so goddamn light, he'd be up there.
Because we just signed Bradbury. We brought Darius Slay back. So I guess getting another cornerback couldn't hurt. But there's a lot of talk about the Chiefs targeting a running back. I'm sure they'd take Bijan Robinson in a heartbeat if he fell to 31, but that would never.
There's no way he'd fall there.
Yeah, no.
This might be overly. Yeah, like I think they'll go maybe Quentin Johnston.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
They do need a wide receiver.
Show me my results.
How'd we do?
Uh-oh. Wait, what happened? Do I have to go through each? Give me my results.
Full results, bottom left corner.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm a big kid now.
How do I download this?
I don't know. Do you have to?
Yeah, because I want to see how wrong we are. All right. Take a picture. So Bryce will go 1, Will Anderson 2, Jalen Carter 3, Stroud, Richardson. I think we're definitely wrong on almost all these.
I love the confidence.
That is our Maki.
Well,
what did I do? There we go. And back to us. So I guess there are more than 2 receivers. I was wrong.
Yeah, and Paris Johnson is not a receiver.
I
was thinking Paris Campbell, and I'm like, that's not right.
Paris Campbell's a giant. Your favorite team.